Guys, I do not acknowledge Roman Reigns.
Yes, you do.
I just really want to make that clear. All right. There is one person though that I do acknowledge, and that's Cody motherfucking Rhodes.
Oh, here we go.
So we're gonna get into it now after talking a little bit about what went on the last couple of weeks. Guys, welcome to the Straight Shoot Podcast. I'm Con Man. This is MrTeshk, and we have a lot to talk about. All right. So, Teshk, what do you want to talk about?
We want Drew. That's all I want to talk about. We want Drew.
All right. I know you're a big Drew fan right now, and Drew is killing it. Let's get into Drew in a hot minute. But the chat, it's so obvious what you guys want to talk about. 72 hours straight trending on Twitter. I think he maybe still is trending on Twitter. We want Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you want Rocky? That's a whole conversation that we're getting into now. So straight up, point blank, Teshk, no tangents, no nothing. One word answer. Cody or Rock? Who do you want to face Roman?
Rock.
Say again.
Rock.
All right.
Hands down.
We got Rock over there. Now, I am on the side of Cody still.
Okay.
I am a Cody fan. I am a Cody mark, and I will be behind Cody till he doesn't finish his story. But so I like Cody. You like Rock. There is a big discussion to be had. So let's take our fandom out of this for a hot minute, okay? And look at this as objectively as possible. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
He pointed at Roman Reigns, said essentially, I'm coming for Roman Reigns. I'm going to finish my story. And The Rock showed up and took his spot.
Did he point at Roman?
He did.
Are you sure? Because Seth was right next to him.
He pointed at Roman.
WWE cameras can do some trickery.
You were there live in attendance. Yep. Did you watch the video back?
I watched the video back, and I watched from my angle. And Seth was there. Roman was there. There was cameras on both guys. Hey, listen, I'm just being devil's advocate. I am just an advocute here. All right. Okay. So
all right. So let me ask you something. If Roman is if Seth's over here and Roman's here, who you point? Oh, it's this one. This is Roman right here.
Hey, from 60 yards away, you never know.
Maybe he did point to Seth Rollins. Maybe he pointed to Roman Reigns.
Pointed at Roman.
And then all of a sudden, The Rock showed up, and that's where we're kind of at. You know, The Rock shows up. It's exciting. It's electric. People are excited to see The Rock. And then we find out Cody's giving up his spot for The Rock. He wants to finish the story. He's coming for Roman Reigns, but not at WrestleMania. This threw the internet into a tailspin. You know, everybody had an opinion on it. Everybody thought one thing or another. The reality is, we've just created a crazy, crazy storyline going into WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
Rock coming back was the plan from the get-go, and to do this stuff with Cody Rhodes, or whether it wasn't. As of today, we are in one of the most exciting storylines I think WWE's produced in a long time. A storyline that I don't have a clue where it's going.
Yeah.
I actually don't know what the WrestleMania match is going to be. If it's going to be Cody Roman, is it going to be Cody Roman Rock special guest referee? Is it Cody Roman Rock triple threat? Is it just Rock Roman and Cody's nowhere in sight? There's a lot of stuff here. So Tesh, let me hear your thoughts.
The positive on this is we're going into WrestleMania at this rate, just like we went into the Royal Rumble, not knowing. And this is the one thing that we haven't had in as many years, where we aren't able to fully predict everything. And that's the great thing about pro wrestling is, like, if it's predictable, it's boring, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Going into this, I will say this. The only thing I don't like about this whole Rock situation is the delivery. The delivery was so poor because it completely washes out Cody's Rumble.
Sorry, are you referencing the promo where The Rock came back?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Cody's promo and then The Rock stare down? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm referencing. Like, it completely disregards Cody's back-to-back win, which means then why did Cody win? Why wasn't it Drew? Why wasn't it Gunther? Why wasn't it Punk? Even though they knew Punk was injured, they probably could have changed that last minute, some people are saying, but that will never be confirmed. But the way they delivered The Rock, as cool as it was, I took advice from people and this person knows you very well. Cool. Really cute way of delivering The Rock. But like you said, Cody did point at Roman. Mm-hmm. So basically, in the matter of 4 days, Cody's gone from I'm hyped, I'm coming after you, I'm gonna finish the story too, Just not yet.
Yeah,
You know,
yet. Not right now. Yeah.
So with that being said, I'm still not mad because any wrestling fan, and here's my first hot take of the day. It's been a while, so you guys deserve one early. 2015, Roman Reigns wins the Royal Rumble. Rock comes out and saves Roman from getting beaten down from Big Show and Kane. Since 2015, people have been saying we want Rock versus Roman Reigns. Just because it is the blonde-haired, blue-eyed son of a plumber, or grandson of a plumber, does not mean this is not the right thing to do. For 9 years, you have been asking for Rock versus Roman Reigns. If Cody didn't want to be involved in this, I'm sure he has at least a little bit of creative control to say, I don't like the way this is going.
The bold claim to say for sure he does.
I didn't say for sure. I said, I'm sure he has a little bit of say.
That's fair. That's fair. And yeah, I'm sure he probably does. I bet you The Rock has more
Probably.
say, you know, and I bet you Triple H has the final call, and whatever Trips decides is what's happening. When it comes to with all this, yes, absolutely, 100%. We want to see Rock versus Roman. It's a dream match.
Mhm.
It's literally the dream match that WWE has available. There's no other match that they have available that could do what Rock Roman could do.
Yeah.
I understand where people are coming from with how this was set up, and I think you have the same sort of feeling that it came at the expense of Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
It came at after a time which should have been all about Cody. He won back-to-back Royal Rumbles, and now he's just stepping to the side. I fully believe, and I've said this on stream, I've said this in a video, I fully believe The Rock coming back was a last-minute call. I do not buy into these rumors. Listen, hear me out.
Okay.
I do not buy into these rumors that The Rock confirmed back at the start of January that he was going to be going to WrestleMania and facing Roman. I think it was floated out. I think it was tested. And I think that he had this idea, maybe I'm going to do it. But I don't think he confirmed that he was in for WrestleMania until after the Rumble. And I believe that's why Cody Rhodes ended up winning the Rumble. There's a possibility it was supposed to be Punk, and Punk during the Rumble got injured, and they may have just said, let's put it on to Cody. The reports coming out that Triple H was hoping to create this martyr-like character of Cody Rhodes with him giving up the Royal Rumble spot to The Rock. I don't buy that. I don't. I think what has happened is The Rock came out, he said, I want this match. Triple H was like, okay, we want to do this match. It's Rock Roman. It's a dream match. So let's do it at WrestleMania 40. No problem. Let's book it. And we'll figure out the rest from there. And then that's what we're doing now. Now we're figuring out the rest from there. He's seen the crowd response to Cody Rhodes. How do you get through that response? How do you get Cody Rhodes into a position that's still going to benefit himself and the company? So that's why they're probably looking at Seth Rollins' world title. They're thinking of a whole bunch of different scenarios here. So yeah, I don't believe that this was the plan from the get-go. I believe the plan changed from Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, to Rock Roman very quickly.
Okay.
And now we're figuring out where we're going with it. And again, I might be proven wrong in due time, right? This might come out that this was the direction that they're going in. But if we look at how the show was formed, and the best part about watching WWE is that you can watch the show and generally tell what the plans are because they don't put anything on TV unless it's meant to be on TV, right?
Yeah.
So when we looked at CM Punk's road to the Royal Rumble and everything he spoke about, that wasn't Cody Rhodes' Rumble to win. It was CM Punk's.
It was
and
Punk's.
whether or not you agree or disagree with like should it be Punk or Cody, that was Punk's Rumble to win, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
So part of me thinks that potentially an audible was called. I might be wrong again, but I know I'm rambling, and I'm rambling a lot.
Do you think this is an audible with a massive fumble?
Tough to say what a fumble is. Most people are talking about WWE right now.
Exactly. Here's the
Right?
thing. The one thing I said on a video, and I don't mean to cut you off. The one thing I did say on a video was at the end of the day, the winner here is WWE. And the winner here are the fans because they've got something to talk about every single day for the next 60 days. We are 60 days away from WrestleMania Night 1. Okay?
exciting.
First thing, Rock versus Roman will be the highest grossed main event of all time. There's no competing with that. Secondly, Cody Rhodes is still walking out as a winner here, because if Cody goes against Seth, he's going to win the world title. Simple. Okay. Even if they make it a fatal 4-way, Cody, Seth, Drew, Sami, and we'll talk about that in a second. Cody's walking out with a title after WrestleMania. Anyone who says the world title is just a secondary title to the WWE Championship, that's another argument that you and I can have, because how are you ever going to say the big gold belt is a secondary title considering the lineage that the original has? Okay. So don't ever come at me and say that is a secondary title. Third, Cody's merchandise sales going into WrestleMania is going to fill that man's pockets that he gets to buy 3 buses, just one for Pharaoh. Okay? That man, because people are not going to want to buy the Rock's merch, as a stand of protest, they are going to buy Cody merch. So Cody is coming out as a winner right here. You guys got to
agree. Cody's coming out a winner for sure.
You guys have to look at this big picture. WrestleMania, Cody is still winning. Is he going to finish the story? Nobody's finishing the story at WrestleMania.
So let's get into that right now.
Thank you.
We are, this is where we're at WrestleMania 40. And this is why I fully 100% believe that this wasn't the original plan, to try to make Cody Rhodes a martyr, right? That's the big thing. That's coming out of all this. Cody Rhodes is meant to be a martyr. He gave up his spot. The fans get behind him. New Daniel Bryan. That's not planned. Okay. Yeah. That's what happened, but that's not what was planned. Because if we look at this, Hogan's record is not that far away.
September 24th of this year.
September 24th.
It is
this September. And Hulk Hogan, you know, a lot of people said, nobody's ever going to reach that record again, right? Not in the modern day. There's no way somebody's going to have a 4-year title run. We are living through something that, I mean, unless you lived through the golden age, unless you lived through Bruno Sammartino's run somehow, you've never seen a run like this. I've never seen a run like this. Nope. I started watching wrestling in 2005. I have never lived through a run like this. It is historic. And people, I get it, are starting to be like, oh my God, too much Roman. But what we're witnessing goes down in the history books. Right? Like, we are going to look back in 20 years' time and be like, do you remember that run of Roman Reigns when he just was dominant? He had the stack both men up at WrestleMania. He had the tribal, all the bloodline stuff.
Yep.
This man has carried the company for a long time, and 4 years doesn't sound outlandish at this point.
No.
I'm a Cody fan, and if Cody Rhodes goes up against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania one-on-one, I don't think he wins this year.
He doesn't win this year.
Because that Hogan record is right around the corner.
It's the most important thing this year, is the Hulk Hogan record.
The only thing I can say is if Cody Rhodes is going to face Roman Reigns somehow at WrestleMania, it has to be in a triple threat with The Rock, and The Rock has to take the pinfall. If you book it in a way that Cody Rhodes hits his 1, 2, 3 crossroads and Roman comes in at the last second, spears Cody and pins The Rock, or even throws Cody out of the ring and Cody tries to crawl back into the ring to break up the cover.
And Solo grabs him.
Yeah. Like, it's everybody watching at that point would be like, oh, Cody came so close.
Yep. And it makes Cody a bigger baby face. It makes Roman a massive heel, and The Rock walks out in the sunset with his final match as he gets pinned by Roman Reigns.
Which is exactly what it needs to be.
Yeah.
Record, it's a 3rd place medal. I don't get the fixation on this record simply because, hey, Santi, how you doing? Simply because it's the longest title run of our existence watching wrestling. That's why.
He'll never beat Bruno Sammartino.
Well, we said he would never beat Hulk Hogan. Watch, guys, another 4 years of Roman at the top. Like, who knows?
That's true. And then Bob, who's the other one? Bob Backlund? He's in number 2, or is he number? Yeah, Bob Backlund's number 2.
Yeah, Bob Backlund's number 2.
Or no, Pedro Morales is number 2. I think he just passed Bob Backlund, didn't he?
You know what, dude? I think you know more about it than I do.
I'm pretty sure it's Bruno, Pedro, Hogan, Roman, Backlund. I think that's what the record is right now, or what the top 5 is.
And it's a fun argument to be had. You know, does it matter? And it might not matter to some of you watching. It matters to me.
It does matter to me.
To me personally, like I think seeing Roman break that record is just another one of those accolades that would be like, holy shit, he did that too.
Yeah.
You know, not necessarily like it's something everybody should have marked down on their date or on their calendar because it's a crazy, crazy big date. Like it's big enough because it's modern day.
Yeah.
I get it. You know, it's not the record. I understand people saying that as well. I personally though, I think it feels like a record to me. Like it
It's
feels like a milestone. It feels like something that would be really interesting to see what would happen if he did pass it.
I think once we move past SummerSlam and we start counting the days and the way WWE does do these things very well, where it's almost like the Millennium Clock for Jericho, counting it down. Everyone was like fixated when that countdown was happening at the new millennium. You weren't watching at the time, but we were just locked in our screens.
Yeah, too young.
The
for that,
countdown,
unfortunately.
the countdown for Roman to get, you know, that Hogan record. What I think WWE might do at that point is actually put Roman to work and be like, all right, Roman,
Okay.
you want it? You're this close.
You got to be a babyface if you're going to make that other record.
No, you're going to
I don't
defend
think
it
he's
every
gonna break
week.
that one,
You're going to
but
defend it every week up until Hogan's record. And
that would be wild.
and wait, what's September? What's the PLE in September? Is that Saudi? Would that
Good question,
chat? What's the September PLE? I'm not 100% on that, but it could actually fall on the weekend of
Is it Payback? It looks like it's Payback. No,
announces
that's 2023. Sorry, that's the wrong one.
because if okay, so I was right. It was Bruno, Bob, then Hulk. Okay, my mistake.
Bruno, Bob, then Hulk.
So they haven't announced the September one yet. I don't believe. Money in the Bank, Heat Wave, SummerSlam, Bash in Berlin. So there's something in between Bash and Berlin. And so whatever the September PLE, it could fall on the weekend because I am 100% that the record is September 24th of 2024 is the record. So that would be the PLE would fall on the 21st. And then the 24th would be the Tuesday. So Roman could have his celebration basically on the 23rd on the Monday Night Raw. Or no, on SmackDown on the 27th.
There you go. There you go. All right. So let me pass the question over here to the live chat because it is a, our opinion. It doesn't necessarily mean it's right or wrong. It's just an opinion, just like your guys. Do you care about that Hulk Hogan record?
I'm going to put a poll
like,
up in mine.
legitimately. And I know we're going to get a hefty amount of no's, but it is something that if he were to pass it, I still feel like it's a big enough deal. But let's get to this, okay? Let's go back to Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns. I still don't think Cody Rhodes faces Roman Reigns at least one-on-one. If he faces him, it's in a triple threat, but it seems like he's going in a different direction. And again, it's all because I think Roman Reigns is winning. Now, if you guys go back to last year at WrestleMania, you would have seen my reaction. I was so in on Cody. Like, to this day, that reaction of me screaming, my face turns bright red and just... I was so behind Cody, and I still think that if it happens this year, if we do get Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, and if they decide to pull the trigger on it because they just want that moment, I'm gonna love it. And I have no problem with it if they decide to do so. And if I have to take the L, I'll take the L on this prediction. But that's just my thoughts.
It's not happening. Roman is not losing. I'm adamant that this Hogan record is what WWE want to do. I think even when I sat here 2 years ago doing this with Sandy, he said that this will be an over 1,000-day run. It will be the greatest. It will be one of the greatest title runs in history. Yeah, have they slipped up on a couple of things? Yep, absolutely. But the Hogan thing is the most important right now. Mm-hmm. And I think I might be wrong. It might be that somebody's corrected me. It says September 3rd, but it's in September. It's mid-September. I believe it's September 12th. We're getting a bunch of people coming through in here, but I care about this record. I think if you are going to go this far and push a guy to the moon, you have to solidify him in some way or another. And I think Hogan being the OG of mainstream wrestling, Roman has to pass it. He has to. It means nothing at this point.
So I just pulled up this article over here,
Yep.
just to kind of show people where we're sitting at. So Bruno Sammartino's run of 2,803 days feels so far away. Like, I don't think that could. I don't know if you've got the longevity. Like, if we're actually looking at what Roman has left to do as a heel, as a babyface, that's a whole different thing. And he could make a switch, and if let's say Paul Heyman decided to align with Solo Sikoa and turn on Roman that way, yada, yada, yada. But as a heel, you've got Randy Orton left that you can have a one-on-one feud. You got AJ Styles you can do one-on-one with. You've got The Rock here you can do one-on-one. And then you go back to Cody if you want. Maybe a solo feud along the way if they decide to split them.
Punk when he comes back. You could have Seth when he heals, because he's not gone to Seth yet.
Yep, the Royal Rumble match they had a long time ago, but yeah.
But it's not been built as what Seth is here to do, and Seth's been hard done by type thing, So I think there's a lot more to do. But the thing is, I don't think this reign works as a babyface.
As of now, there's no reason to root for Roman Reigns. So yes, as of now, for sure. And then we go to this Bob Backlund at number 2, 2,135 days. Okay, like a little closer, but still quite a ways away, right?
5 years?
Yeah, and then here is Hulk Hogan at 1,474, Roman sitting at 1,238. That, when you look how close you are right there to becoming third all time, and then, God, then you start asking yourself, how good is business, right? Like, if business is this good with Roman Reigns, and he's not slowing down, and the ticket sales aren't slowing down, God, do you continue to run with it till the wheels fall off? Like, if you have this type of character, if you have somebody who is truly helping you draw some of the biggest gates you've ever had in your business history, do you actually pull the title off him?
Con, I'm just going to say it this way. I think the tread is starting to wear very thin. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think the wheels are about to fall off, but I think the tread is starting to wear very thin. And I think that pavement, which is the WWE universe, is starting to cut into that tread a little bit thicker and thicker. So I think they really need to be careful on where they feel that this is enough.
What inning are we really in?
I think we're in the 7th inning, personally. Okay. 7th inning stretch right now, going into WrestleMania. I believe I've been toying with Survivor Series, and I've been toying with WrestleMania next year. I think WrestleMania next year, potentially in Minnesota, if that's where they're going to be doing it, I think that is where the final nails in the coffin for Roman Reigns, and they step away, because then you're looking at 1,600, around 1,600 days. So it's a significant step away from Hogan. If they pull it at Survivor Series, you're only like 60 plus days away.
Yep.
So it's like, oh, he just.
When would 2,000 days be? I'm just actually curious. What is the 2,000 day mark?
Okay, so we're at 1,400. Say it's mid-September. So say September 12th. 3, 6. Another 2 years.
Yeah, no. So that's number 2 is not happening.
No.
God, I say that though, and they have the workhorse title. They're literally calling it the workhorse championship, the world heavyweight title, right?
Yeah.
They've established that is the title that the wrestlers who are there want to probably go after. Like, man, they've spun it in a way that if they decide to make this the Hollywood championship, the part-timer championship.
Can I ask, why is so many people so mad that Cody could potentially hold the world title? I don't see it.
I've got a theory for that one. It's because it hasn't been what the story's been about. That's it. When he came back to WWE, when he was on the Stone Cold podcast, he pointed to the WWF championship, right? He's like, I want that. That's the title my dad never held. And then to go and say, I'm going to finish the story by holding the title that my dad did hold.
But
You know, like it doesn't. It's a cool part of the story. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is a bad story being told, but it's not the story that has been told.
But we're not talking about, and Justin, I'm actually gonna hit on Justin's comment here. Justin goes, because it's not as important as the WWE title. You're
Imagine reading David versus Goliath, but then David decides to go fight some other dude not named Goliath.
Okay, fair. But here's my thing. Justin, that is one of the most cynical comments I've ever heard, because the world title is just as important from its lineage. Yes, this title sitting over my shoulder is not the original big gold belt, but it's the representation of what that big gold title was. That's what that title represents, okay? And to say that it's not important, without that title, Monday Night Raw is boring. Just so you know.
I do agree. Oh, man, we need this title.
This title is so important, first off. Secondly, people have been bitching and complaining that Cody has never won a title. Okay? Cody is literally guaranteed the world title.
Boys forgot about the tag title run. The Yeetalicious run.
Yeah, okay, but still, Cody's not won a big individual title. Yeah. He's not won. He didn't win it in AEW. He was getting booed out the building in AEW. Just remember, before he left, he was getting booed out the building in AEW. Yeah. So coming back, putting the world title on Cody Rhodes after what Seth Rollins has done to build this title. This is a good move for WWE, because, like I've been saying, finishing the story doesn't mean Roman Reigns. Now it does, kind of, considering what Cody said, saying, I want to take everything from you. But before those words were uttered, finishing the story was just winning the WWE Championship. That's it.
Well, yeah, and so that's still not the story that's being told right now. That's why people are having like a bit of a backlash to it, right? Like I fully understand where people are coming from. Cody won the Royal Rumble. Cody pointed to Roman Reigns. Cody's entire story has been getting back to Roman Reigns. They've teased it for well over a year now. That I go back to the stare down on SmackDown with Jay and Jimmy and Roman and Cody. Like, we have been teasing it for a while, and the fact that it feels like it's a consolation prize, you know, whether or not the title is meant to be framed in that way, that's how it feels to everybody watching. Cody winning the world title would be a fairly cool moment. Him winning the WWE Championship is the culmination of the story that he's been telling, and it's that euphoric moment that every fan will have where they're like, yes, he did it. Now what?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Now what?
Now what? Which is why I understand why they might push this again to next year's WrestleMania, because this story does still have legs.
Here's my other question. WWE has delivered this poorly. We do have this press conference that we're going to get into later in a little bit. But we do have this press conference coming up. Because they've not confirmed the Rock Roman match, could Cody do double duty on night one? And could Roman do double duty across WrestleMania? And Cody go against Seth at the start of night one for the world title. Cody win the world title. Still get the opportunity to challenge Roman at the end of night one, because that's 4 hours. He's got plenty of time to rest. Roman defends against Cody. Cody gets his chance for the WWE title. Cody's going to lose. And then we get Rock versus Roman. Either way, on night two. Does everyone not go home happy?
I think you burn through a lot of stories just to do that. That isn't necessary, that you could still touch on in the future. I think if you run Cody, Roman, and Rock Roman in the same WrestleMania, whether it be night one or night two, you're burning through just a year's worth of story still to be told. Which I don't think that's the right call. You know, I think if you are pulling the trigger on Cody versus Roman, you pull the trigger properly. You put the title on Cody. You say, all right, no Hogan record to pass here. We're putting the title on Cody. Yeah. I think if you do that match, that's what you have to do. If you do a triple threat, you can still write your way out of it. You can
Mhm.
have Roman pin The Rock. Cody came so close. His story still continues. Or you keep them separate. You don't have them touch at WrestleMania. Cody tells a different story, goes after Rollins, and gets back to his story eventually.
But then you have the backlash of the crowd. And somebody's just said in the chat, but that would mean Cody gets buried again by Roman. Either way, Cody goes against Roman, he's getting buried at WrestleMania. We've already established this, that the Hogan record is something that WWE is.
We think there's a possibility he wins, right? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if they decide to go in this direction of putting Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, and they have these other matches available, you probably have to have Cody Rhodes go over Roman, unless you do something wild, and I mean wild, like The Rock cost Cody Rhodes. Okay, like maybe that's your SummerSlam match. Rock screws over Cody Rhodes. Rock sides with his family. The tribal, he acknowledges Roman Reigns. You could do something wild like that. Do I think you're gonna? Probably not, but you could if you wanted to create just another bit of story. But it's probably gonna be Cody and Seth, maybe Drew and Sami in the picture. And it's probably Roman.
I wouldn't mind the Fatal 4-Way. I'm just saying.
A Fatal 4-Way would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot of history there, like Cody and Sami, Cody and Seth, and Cody and Drew. There's a lot of history with that match to be told as well.
Yeah.
Do you believe that the CM Punk injury fully changed these WrestleMania plans?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I fully believe this was supposed to be Cody versus Roman and Seth versus Punk on night one.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep,
I fully
believe that.
It's kind of funny. Somebody's just said in the chat, what about Priest cashing in? This whole thing we've talked about, and we've completely forgot about the Money in the Bank. Is the Money in the Bank irrelevant now? Going into this entire story?
Not irrelevant. I think, unfortunately, the person holding it hasn't been made to feel like a big enough deal.
Yeah,
they're in the tag division. He's doing stuff with R-Truth. It's the road to WrestleMania. Your world champion's injured. This makes no sense in the sense that Damian Priest has somebody out there cutting promos injured.
Yep.
Where are you? You've got a group. There's no rules. You can go down and attack them.
You have the most powerful. You have the most powerful group in WWE currently, and you still haven't been able to win either title.
Oh my God! I just thought about this. If they wanted to write themselves out of this Money in the Bank, you could do literally that we just said. Have them go down and attack Seth Rollins, and R-Truth accidentally cost Priest. Just if you want to get out of it,
R-Truth forgets the Money in the Bank briefcase in the back.
Forgets the contract. he cashes in. Priest wins. The ref goes to open up the briefcase.
Money
There's no
falls
contract.
out. Money falls out from all his t-shirt sales.
Let's go.
Oh man, actually, I think that would be probably one of the funniest thing is, and if you want to send the crowd home pissed off, this is how you do it. You do Seth versus Cody one-on-one. Priest cashes in 2 seconds after Cody wins the world title and has the world title ripped out of his hands, just like the WWE title was ripped out of Dusty's hands.
Bring a tear to my eye.
There's long-term storytelling right there.
Oh, there's the story. Look at that. The watery eyes are coming on out. It's actually these damn lights here. One second.
Oh man, I will be a very happy camper to all you Cody marks out there that keep saying, oh, we want Cody. At the end of the day, guys, I think, and Khan said, oh, there is a chance of Roman dropping the title at WrestleMania. You know what else there is a chance of? There's a chance of the Second Coming. There's a chance of them remaking woolly mammoths and putting them in the frozen tundra.
There's a chance that Santi Zap grows to over 5 feet tall.
There's a chance of many things in this world. There's a chance that I'm gonna live to be 300, but guess what? It's not happening. It's not happening at the end of the day. Anyways, Khan, I think we've beaten this horse to death.
I think so too. Now we got some more, so we got a dead horse over there. So we're gonna now pass this over to the videos and we're gonna beat this to death some more. But if you guys haven't heard, there was a promo cut after Monday Night Raw by Sami Zayn towards Cody Rhodes. Now, I do not understand why this wasn't on TV.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't understand, but I'll let you guys listen to it. Here is Sami to Cody.
It doesn't even matter what I think or what I have to say to you. What matters is what they have to say to you. And I'm pretty sure they've got 3 words for you that I've been hearing all week online.
Yes, sir.
3 words that I heard in the concourses when you guys were walking into the building.
Bet you that was loud.
We want Drew.
You kept screaming before the show even started. Cody, I think these people have 3 words for you.
Palm of his hand.
Yeah. I don't know why this wasn't on TV, though. It makes no sense to me.
It was right there.
Yeah.
It's ready for TV. Unless they didn't want to acknowledge these chants.
I don't think they want to acknowledge chance, to be honest.
They're freaking out right now because I'm bleeding.
He's
So
bleeding?
I gotta definitely go get it looked at, but those 3 words, well, all I can say is this.
Does he say be patient?
Since I was a little boy who grew up.
Oh, Cody's crying again.
everything, for you to want me
Meme lives on.
because I have always wanted you.
Because I have always wanted you.
I love you guys so much. I'm sorry I'm an emotional mess. Please, let's hear it for the man who came and just saved my ass, Sami Zayn!
It should have been on TV.
It
This should have been
on
the
TV.
finish.
100%.
This should have been the end of the show.
It should have
Like,
been.
this is how it should have ended. Monday Night Raw should have went off the air with Sami Zayn coming down, saving Cody Rhodes from that attack, and you continue to set all that up. I think it just adds to the story. It felt like something was missing at the end of Raw.
Yep,
It really
absolutely.
did.
Like, if Drew had not come out, I think it would have ended flat.
Yep, I do agree. So, like, Drew coming out was better than nothing.
Yeah.
But then Sami needed to follow up that. Sami saying that he's not just or he's not an underdog anymore. He's a contender who's going to be a champion.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to be a champion. Would you be okay with seeing Sami Zayn win the world title at WrestleMania if, say, they did
No.
the Fatal 4-Way?
No.
You wouldn't, eh?
If it's
After
not if it's not Cody, it's got to be Drew.
So you're saying this and all that, but let's look back at the past year that Sami Zayn had.
Hold on,
Right?
let
Let's-
me
or
before-
even longer than
let me make my point quickly because mine's really short and sweet. I'm worried about Drew's contract situation, which is a massive thing. Drew still has that gripe about not winning the title in front of a crowd. Let Drew win it in front of a crowd and drop it next month. I don't care. To Sami. I don't care. Sami has longevity in his career. But Drew is getting. I truly believe we're seeing a real Drew here. We're seeing a real Drew McIntyre here. The frustration that Drew is showing, I think that's his real life thing right now as well. I think they're allowing him to portray his real self. If Drew doesn't win the title, Drew Galloway shows up in AEW. That's all I'm saying.
That's a bold claim. I know that obviously championships matter in wrestling. It would be the use of the character I think he'd be more concerned about than winning like a title per se, and like because he's making bank over there in WWE. So as long as he's on TV doing stuff, hovering around that main event scene, I think he's fine. What I would worry about is if we see him slip back to the IC title scene or go over to SmackDown and be around the US title scene. Like that's when I would be really concerned about where he feels his place in WWE is. But being involved with CM Punk, with Cody Rhodes, at the top of the card, it's a good place for Drew to be. Let's just say that.
I understand that. Go with your Sami Zayn point. I'm just posting a TikTok right now.
I'll try to make this as quick as possible too. Sami Zayn was the most popular babyface for a long, long time, and he still would have been one of the most popular baby faces had Cody Rhodes' story not taken over in WrestleMania 39. That WrestleMania 39 night one win of the tag titles with Sami and Kevin was one of the best feelings as a fan, just that culmination. But Sami still hasn't won that individual world title. That's his story now moving forward. I I'm a big Sami Zayn fan as well. I was so invested in Montreal. Were you there in Montreal? I can't remember.
I was
For
in
Elimination
Montreal.
Chamber.
I was there for Elimination Chamber. I was 6th row for that, which I didn't see anything, so I had to watch it back on TV. So
Gotcha. So
Yeah.
like you were there for that crowd reaction for
Oh,
Sami Zayn.
it was
And
nuclear.
just
It was nuclear.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. Like we've heard it before. Piper in Portland, and this is Sami in Montreal. You know, that's his place, and I can't wait to see whenever they go back again to Montreal, because that's going to be a really fun reaction for Sami. But if he is able to win the world title, I think you create a babyface that a lot of people could get behind. He doesn't need to have like a 20-month reign or anything crazy like that, but having a good feud, you know, going up. Imagine, say, at WrestleMania, Sami snakes the win away somehow, right?
Yep.
And Drew is now chasing Sami. And then a month later, you have Drew take the title from Sami. Almost what happened with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, where
Yep.
Sami won the NXT title and Kevin just a month later won the title from him. You know, it created a big heel in Kevin Owens and lots of sympathy for Sami Zayn, which they might do again. Anyways, rambled on enough. I like Sami Zayn. It'd be fun to see him
It
win.
would be fun
And
to see.
Live chat, let us know, who would you like to see walk out as the world champion from WrestleMania? Not the WWE champ, but the world champ. For those of you that didn't hear last night, we have a little video. The crowd was muted.
Yes.
They muted the crowd. It seems like they started out letting the crowd be vocal.
Yes.
They didn't give them a lot of time to breathe at the start of the show. They just ran right into Seth Rollins' music. But here, this was a video during the main event, and the crowd seemed very quiet on TV.
Yep.
But this is what actually happened.
I will say the St. Louis crowd, when they allowed them to be heard, was hot last night.
Yep, it was. It was hot. The woes were loud.
Yep.
And the Rocky sucks chants were really loud as well. And it wasn't just one time that they were there. They were actually there at the opening of the show as well. When Michael Cole said,
What is
this
this, 1995?
1996?
That's
Like,
it.
Or whatever it was.
Take me back to 1996.
Jeez, just that right there was, it was such a cool callback, because yeah, that happened.
Yeah.
People were chanting Rocky sucks, and here we are in 2024, people chanting Rocky sucks. Do you think that WWE is completely taken back by the fans booing The Rock? Not necessarily because they're booing The Rock for Cody, but because they're booing The Rock. You know what I mean? Like, it's The Rock. Are you taken back at all by it?
No, I think WWE is fully prepared for everything that is thrown their way, minus a couple of allegations here and there. But I will say that WWE is always very well prepared for any backlash they might get when it comes to story. And I think this is the first big one that Triple H has really had to deal with when in his tenure as the head at the helm, you know, like we haven't seen a backlash like this.
He hasn't made a misstep per se in booking, and this is a misstep in booking. I think we
Huge.
can all agree with that.
Huge misstep
right? Like,
in booking.
they are playing catch up now. This is not what they wanted to have happen on the road to WrestleMania.
No.
They wanted to tell the story they wanted to tell, and now they're having to tell a different one.
Are they though? We'll find out on Thursday, and we'll be live for that in some form during that press conference. I think that press conference is going to change the entire landscape of WrestleMania.
I agree.
So, and if it doesn't, man, it's just gonna be like another Tony Khan announcement. But yeah, no, I think there are a lot more answers than there are questions to come. And we can't speculate as much as we want to speculate on everything. I think we just need to sit back as wrestling fans and for once just sit and wait for it to play out, because that's the one thing in this world right now. We need patience, and we need a lot more of it.